Hello?
Hello.
And welcome.
In this chapter, we'll be talking about the Bronstein Larsen variation. Let's get started. So,
Bronstein Larsen variation of the Caro-Kann. Okay, Bronstein Larsen. So here we have it. We have the okay. Hold on. So Caro-Kann D for D5. He's playing. He had one of his big choices to play the bronze is Knight C3 defend.
mm-hmm.
So far, this is all normal, and then we take. That's what we're suggesting to take. And hold on. Now Knight F6 is what we're suggesting. Again, there are some other moves, but Knight F6 is what we're going to be suggesting in this course. It's what I've been playing basically my whole life. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Knight F6. He again. There's a couple moves he could take. He could do. What do you suggest? What do you say?
We'll discuss that soon. We're going to discuss that in the theory, and this is the theory chapter. But we're starting with a model game just to illustrate Black's typical ideas.
Yeah. Okay. So So this is a game again. Who is this against?
I think this was a game. Was it Larry Christensen or was
Larry Christensen? Yeah.
It was a bullet game from.
Yeah. Vasca Larry Christensen. Yeah.
Yes,
Good.
we're starting with a model game that is bullet chess, obviously, because the ideas are natural, but you could apply it in bullet.
It's so natural to play in bullet. Exactly. That's a good way to put it. Okay. We took back. Knight F3 is met by Bishop G4 to really what you're doing is tickling the D4 pawn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he played bishop. Go ahead. He played bishop E2, and the idea is that now if you take the knight,
You capture with the bishop. The queen is still defending.
is still defending the pawn. All right. E6 is how we're gonna play here. Okay. E6 is hold on. No. E6. E6 is to do what? To get first of all pave way for the bishop to come out, and also to secure. You really don't want to get hit quickly with D5 when I showed the D5 coming. You want to make sure that doesn't happen. So E6 is helping on the light squares. Okay?
Exactly. So, Queen C7.
Okay, Bishop E3, normal development. Queen C7 is okay.
We usually play these moves in some order or other.
We're gonna have to castle. Queen C7 is fine, and Knight E7. I would say normally do not play the bishop out. The dark square bishop does not come out that early.
Because C4, D5 comes very fast. You want to castle queenside as fast as
you really
can.
want to castle quick and then later attack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay.
C4.
Knight E7. Notice how he's very aggressive and he's playing for the squeeze in the center. Maybe D5. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So Queen A4.
Queen A4, and what's that doing here?
It's preventing castles queenside because the A7 pawn will be hanging.
Yeah. The queen is a bit annoying, and we can't castle that easily.
Well, we attack the queen.
So here, here I attack the queen.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the best move was Queen A5. I would.
Oh,
think.
because then like
Yeah.
Then
Queen
it's
A5
hard to move the knight.
Queen A5 is a bit of a pin. Go show for a second. Queen A5. There's actually a nice idea here. Yeah, no, we can't move the knight. We can't castle. He still takes the A pawn.
So what should we do?
We should go Knight David 5. Low.
Oh yeah, we
Knight
trade the
D5.
queens.
Yeah. Knight D5. If he trades, we take it. We're happy to trade. Go. Yeah.
So,
This is oh no. He can never push the D pawn. He has no outpost. Look. He has no outpost with the knight on E5. His D pawn is not that secure, and little by little we're getting up. We castle. We go Rook G8. We could play this for an endgame. Rook D8. Rook G8. Bishop D6. The knight will find a home. Maybe the double F pawns. We might play F5. We might keep it there, and it's we may use a knight to show knight E8. Knight E8 to F6. F6. Yeah. F6. Again, a lot of flexibility, and Black is doing quite comfortably.
Yeah, I was.
Endgames are good for Black in this line.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It's important.
When you suggested Queen A5, I was wondering Knight D5. Well, I was sort of wondering whether White's space advantage would matter here.
No, because of the Gelfand.
Oh, right. Because we have all the squares for the minor pieces, so it's not actually a space advantage.
Yeah, Gelfand.
Yeah.
So again, because it is space, but there's no squares. There's nothing to do with the space. Overextended. Queen back. Go Knight D5. Mm-hmm. Queen A5. Knight D5. If he goes Queen D2, then you can pause for the student pause for a moment. Okay. Okay, now we could show
some nice dark energies.
Bishop before dark energies, and that's kind of nice. Win the queen for a couple pieces. Yeah. Okay. So he went queen b3. Honestly, he saw all that. That's how good Larry is. He probably saw all that. Yeah, and I might have seen knight d5. I feel like
it's a 1 minute game, which means there's time for rapid calculation.
Yeah, or just instinct. He felt it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he feels it. Okay, castle.
Mm-hmm.
Queen side is fine. He plays a very aggressive, trying to play a5. And at this point, I made a decision, which I don't know is the best, but it's okay. Let's see. A5.
It's just
trying to get the bishop in. Yeah, it's stopping his attack. It's kind of interesting. It has some merit.
Well, what if c5?
If c5, we're happy. I mean, if c5, we go to d5, knight d5.
This is a nice outpost square. f4 is weak, b4 is weak. White doesn't really have a plan to attack us, and we have all the normal ideas.
Exactly.
So what are we doing with this bishop? Are we playing like bishop h6 after knight f4 maybe, or?
Yeah, that's a good question.
We normally wanted to go here.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of just rook g8. You just wait. I mean, the bishop just waits probably. You wait and then play. Yeah, I don't know. Bishop e7. It's a quiet move. You could play bishop e7, no problem.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, he has a castle. The thing is, once he castles, he's basically dead. It's a problem. No, he's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. It's a lot of trouble. And then and then knight f4. I would actually think knight f4. I don't want to take the bishop. I'll show you. I don't want to take the bishop.
But then
he takes the pawn,
rebuild.
and his pawn. Show. Knight takes. Go ahead. Knight takes. I'm just saying in principle. The pawns help rebuild. So if you better go back. Better to actually play knight f4. So
and then this stays as a backward pawn.
And then then the bishop will be it's good. Yeah, eventually the bishop will thrive and the. I mean, I'd love to get bishop d6. Not yet. I'm even going to show that bishop d6.
That would be the norm.
At some point, you'll get it, though. You could play e5.
Yeah, e5 would kind of undermine
it. Might be the time to play it.
There's also ideas on over here.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so c5 would be typical weakness. Castles. But this is really interesting because, well, first of all, black has all of his normal play. There's rook g8, there's bishop h3, there's a scary attack. But it's not like white was sitting still. He has play on r knight too, and d5's coming.
Yeah, the knight on b6 is having some trouble here. Yeah.
And white went for it. But, sometimes you gotta sack all your pieces.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. When I started taking lessons with Yakov was like, I was playing some games in some FIDE events, and I was like playing Grandmasters and stuff, and I was just going for mate, and he's like, oh, what are you doing, Elijah? Why are you trying to crush your opponents all the time? You don't need to do anything.
Exactly.
And it's like you can just relax. It's okay to draw. And back then I had like 3 draws out of maybe 150 games. It's like so I had to call my friend up and ask for help. How do you draw? I was like, I don't know. I've never drawn. So but at some point I learned how to relax. I had an accident and drew almost all my games against low-rated opponents in a big event first. But so we're getting a little sidetrack here. But this is my natural style. You get to attack. You get to bring all your pieces in. You get to sack. You get all these tactics. No more of this waiting. Okay, we're gonna have plenty of waiting, but so now that we're in the Caro-Kann attack, we get to have a little bit of breathing room for the natural style of chess. Checkmate.
Exactly. So it's going to be a little violent here. Caro-Kann attack, d5, and this was a funny game. I mean, I think it was so extreme that's why we're showing it, just to show how extreme it can be. I think it's not as quite always like this, but it's just kind of funny in a way. So d5, and we played. I feel like, honestly, I'm thinking now, it's just easy to play bishop boy 4. I mean, it's just so easy to play. I think that's the way to do it, really.
Yeah, and then we still have an attack.
If I'm being honest, I think. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it works. d6 is kind of annoying.
D6. Oh, because if rook takes c6, c5. Well, we can take with the the knight's
it doesn't quite work. Yeah. So maybe I saw that. Maybe I don't know. Anyways, but okay. So I played.
Bishop h3.
Bishop h3. Just going for it. Just going. It's funny.
Right, and so. If bishop takes b6, the natural move would be to sacrifice the queen. When in doubt, sack the queen, etc., etc. Yeah. But unfortunately, white has this annoying bishop maneuver. This would be checkmate if it weren't for...
That's what I did. Show. No, it's not what I...
Well, no, what was played in the game was g3 instead of bishop b6.
Okay, yeah. So, he thought I was mating, and I thought we missed a move. But anyways, that's what happened. Just to show ideas here.
We could have rook takes g2 with queen f4, and we still have a really strong attack going.
That's probably really true, actually. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we're just mating in a couple moves, but it's kind of unclear. Normally, we were the ones who chose to go for these tactics, but in the game, white played g3.
G3, yeah.
So obviously, pieces are hanging, right? Pieces are hanging, the usual. So when the pieces are hanging, what do? we sacrifice more pieces. It's as Tal once said, they can only take one of them at a time, eh? So sometimes we gotta just take it easy and sacrifice, you know? Just kick back, relax, and sack all your pieces. Especially the opponent's king. It's basically your piece if you do it right.
Exactly. So So he took the knight, of course, and Bishop takes. It's kind of funny how it worked out, just to kind of show illustration.
Just your average queen sack. So if he takes this way, I think we could do something like
I think rook takes. And if he takes, queen takes, d3 is mate, right?
Checkmate's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's always pretty fun.
Yeah.
So he took here. Well, here's the thing.
Oh, hold on, show. Go back. So again, he took the queen, and now we take back. Discovered attack. Go ahead. He moves the king. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The bishop. King h1, bishop g2, king there, and then bishop takes his mate. Yeah.
It's like this game.
Slithering mate. Yeah.
It's like this game feels like it's like cleansing my soul or something.
Cleansing my soul.
I don't know how to put it. It's just
That's good. That's good.
Nice,
well, there you go.
Relaxed.
Hopefully,
get some good
students will enjoy this similarly. Okay. And it's a pleasant mate and a really vicious kingside attack, all coming from the integrity of our, structure.
Well, it's not very surprising that we're winning because we're down a queen.
Anyway, again, the structure is in the center. You got to show the center. You got to show the center. E6,
yeah, sure.
C6, E6 fangs. You got to show the fangs. See the fangs? Yeah. F6, very good. Good point. The F6, dark energy.
It just controls all the outpost squares. Yeah. And so if white has more space, quote unquote, we're still controlling those squares.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a lot of fun for the students. It takes time to get a feeling for it. It's going to take a little time, but it's a nice, and I think it will actually extend. It will give you guys.
It's going to take a while.
It'll build instincts. It'll build instincts not just in this variation. It helps. I think it's helped me a lot understanding how to be creative, how to attack. How to merge positional chess with attacking chess.
Sometimes it takes you to develop you're used to defending as black, and here we're trying to teach you how to attack as black. So it might take a while to change the mindset to try to crush the opponents, but I'm sure you'll get used to it soon enough.
Yeah. Also, we'll be seeing a lot of endgames too.
Well, there's a lot of positional ideas, typical endgames.
There'll be a lot of endgames. We'll be forced into, and you'll be
balances, colors.
Yeah, you'll be forced into a lot of endgames, and that's good. It's instructive. That's good for learning. It's good.
Yeah, it's like a very well-rounded repertoire.
It is a well-rounded. I think this one variation has so many different things, types of positions in it that it's good. It's well expansive. It's very helpful for your chess in general. Okay.
Exactly. So let's look at some of the theory. So first let's look at what happens if let's look at knight c3 first. We're going to be looking at the variations in which black.
So he's not playing d4. The first so far we've seen d4.
Right.
When they play knight c3, we're just playing as if they play d4. I mean, that's basically what's happening.
What's the difference? I mean, they get a little.
Well, no, there's.
Well, there is a difference.
Basically, but I think that's we're going to play as if we play d4. Okay.
The structural idea is similar. Well, it's probably going to play d4 at some
At least we start the same way. Okay, d4, d5.
Well, we exchange.
Yeah, d4,
Okay.
No. So go back. So in this position, I mean, to be fair, in this position, is a lot of famous games. Bishop g4 is another way to play. So I think the Petrosian was this, yeah. So that's, and then you could take. Let me show what you could play. Bishop takes. You can take. Again, why is it okay to give up the bishop? Why?
Because we can put mini bishops to control the white squares.
You already start c6. It does move one of the Caro-Kann is honestly, at some level ridiculous. At some level it's ridiculous. No, really, no, ridiculous. It's not developing. It's blocking the knight. It's not helping castling. So what is it doing? It's doing one thing and one thing only. No, this is real.
Building a mini bishop.
It's securing mini bishop for d5, and even d5 is not doing anything. It's a center.
I agree. That's the only point of 1c6.
What?
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, but you're getting a mini bishop and you're getting control of d5 and you're getting light. But once we have that, we can feel proud and can expand to other things. So again, once we have light
with dark intentions,
through the light, there will be dark. Let there be dark.
There will be light.
Let there be dark. Yeah, it's a new concept. Let there be dark is just pretty deep. Yeah. But,
dark with light leverage.
Yeah, exactly. And again, now we know it's okay to trade a light bishop. Why? Why is it okay to trade a light bishop?
It's okay to trade the light bishop because we have a mini bishop to replace it.
Because we have insurance. We made insurance before we already had the problem. It's good, yeah. So that gives us some options, and I like those. I told you it's gonna be a little weird the first couple moves sometimes. But you'll be happy. It's a little tough love, the Caro-Kann, tough love. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so knight f3, d takes e4, knight.
Oh, hold on. So what's that? When they play this, bishop g4 is an option, but we're suggesting. I've tried both a lot. I have felt that this is kind of nice. Pawn takes, knight
takes,
and then knight f6. We're basically treating it the same way as a Bronstein Larsen, except instead of d4, he has a knight on f3. Okay.
So takes, and things can actually get a little bit tricky here. Well, if they play d4 or bishop g4,
it's going to transpose.
We'll talk about this soon. Let's look at what happens if. G3 is actually.
No. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see G3 later.
Okay.
G3 is a sideline later, please. No.
Okay, so let's look at D4.
D4.
Mm-hmm.
D4. Bishop G4.
Bishop G4, and Bishop E2.
No problem.
E6, and we're gonna cover this in other move orders, but the general idea is the same. We're castling queenside. There's lots of playable move orders, and as a general guideline, you delay developing the light squared bishop in order to prioritize castling queenside.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Okay, so bishop g4. Well, let's look at. We'll get back to this. So queen e2 instead is another option white can try.
Queen e2.
But then we play the bishop g4.
Oh, what is queen e2? What exactly is queen e2?
Queen e2 is trying to trick black. He's trying to bamboozle him. He's trying to bamboozle him with knight d7, knight d6 checkmate.
Knight d6 mate is good. That's good. Very good.
And the other idea is that if we take on e4. White would like to play his queen at the center and maybe queen h4 with attacking chances.
When the queen's gone to e2, it's a waiting move. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, it's a waiting move. So, but if you take, the queen gets active.
And then
you don't take. What do you develop?
Well, you want to block your bishop.
Why can't? The problem is e6 is normal. Show. E6, but then the light bishop is blocked.
Oh no.
So and another thing, if you play bishop f5, I've played different things. Yeah, bishop f5, they play like knight g3.
Those tempos come in handy for white quite often.
Actually, maybe take c2 now. Actually, I don't know, c2. But okay.
But we're trying to stay in style of this repertoire with bishop g4.
Bishop g4 is the best. But okay, again, we can show what happens. Yeah, this is actually queen e2 is recommended by Krzysztof Selecki against the Caro-Kann. So I think it's important to kind of tackle this a little bit. We're kind of seeing some sidelines a little bit here. All right, fine. So again, bishop g4. All right.
So h3, we want to exchange this bishop because our many bishops will replace.
Yeah, h3. We suggested take. He takes back.
And then queen d5.
Well, again, it's okay to trade the bishop.
Because
you have many bishops. And
pawns on light to rebuild. So let's talk about this endgame.
He'll trade queens. What do you pretty okay here, yeah.
So what color are we up on?
Yeah, so the imbalance is the different show the so we both have a dark bishop, both have two rooks, both have a king, right? We both have a king.
Knight against bishop, which means we're up on dark and behind on light. So we put pawns on light to rebuild the bishops.
Hold on, so it's a knight versus a light square. Show. Knight, click the knight, light square bishop. Mm-hmm. Which means light square bishop is worth $1,000 of light.
And the knight is worth
500 light, 500 dark. White's ahead on light, black's ahead on dark. Now, how is this going to play? So I feel like we already have a pawn on light. We were about to play e6, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to have a mini bishops. We're not going to get crushed on light, and we're pretty secure.
Let's look at
White, to his credit, will play c3, and what is really? No, hold on. What is White doing? What is White doing?
He's playing on our color, or no? He's trying to rebuild dark. He's trying to rebuild dark.
He's weak on dark. I mean, it's funny because he has the two bishops. This is a new thing. Okay, he has a bishop pair. He doesn't have to make a new bishop. Why is he rebuilding dark? Why? Because why is he rebuilding dark?
Because we have more dark money.
Because even though he has two bishops, we have a knight which is also a dark bishop. We're ahead on dark, so he's trying to play c3 to rebuild.
Yeah, exactly. But so here we're going to attack on dark. We're going to rebuild light and attack on dark, and the typical plan is the minority attack.
Yeah, we've seen minority attack before in the exchange variation, but okay, it's minority attack is pretty nice. Okay, show a few moves. Bishop d6, yeah.
Let's say like bishop d3 for example.
Bishop d6,
castles.
Maybe castles. I don't mind king d7 actually.
King postulate.
Yeah, rook b8 maybe, rook b8, and then maybe f4, honestly, f4. Actually, f4, I don't mind playing f5, I'll tell you this much.
Oh, that's really interesting.
I don't want him playing f5, so I'll play f5 myself. Show what he's trying to do. Go back a move. He's trying to play f5, which is kind of annoying, a little bit weird.
Are we ever meeting that with e5?
Maybe, but it's too weird. Then d5 gets
and then
weak.
Our king is kind of...
Yeah, f5 is good, f5.
So this backward pawn seems striking, but are we going to potentially do this maneuver
Exactly. e6 looks like a backwards pawn, but it turns into a bug, a weakness in the dacha, in the summer home.
And
turns into a brick.
Yes.
e6, show e6. E6,
it's a brick, building the dacha.
Yeah, and show the knight is going to land where?
On e4.
On e4, it's a great outpost, and also means they have no pressure.
And if they ever exchange it, we would have a passed pawn, and we would have a nice bishop on the opposite color of the pawn chain, and white's bishop would be very restricted, very passive.
Yeah, and you see f4. I mean, look at his f4 pawn. I mean, the thing about f4...
He's playing on our color.
When you see it, hold on, look at f4. It looks safe enough, right? He's not going to lose f4 ever, right?
Yeah.
No, but the answer is that was a trick question, Elijah. He will. Go. Go back. Click on f4, please. F4. Click. No, f4. No, pawn f4. F5. His f4 pawn is going to be lost one day, or at least in some possibility of being lost. Why? It looks so secure, but the answer is what color is f4 on?
We have one more minor
piece. It's on dark. It's on dark, yeah. Yes. We're ahead $500 on dark, okay? Which means one day we can gang up on that. One day. Show the knight will land on e4. Show the knight in e4. Knight here. We'll tickle the bishop. We're going to have another option. F4 is long-term issue, and who knows? It might even take... If the rook moves... Imagine the rook moves away, we take the bishop, win the pawn. Again, that's just may not happen, but pawn has to worry about itself, its security. Another way we're going to play on dark, show b5, b4, take, c3 pawn, he'll take back, isolated pawn, but also, keep the knight on e4, the knight's still on e4, yeah, and the c3 pawn will also be a weakness, but particularly weak because of what? Why is it particularly weak?
Because we have more dark money.
It's on dark, and it's like a joke. We're ahead on dark. We're like, hey, up a piece. This isn't going to go well for you. So who knows? The bishop. Look, bishop c7. Look, show bishop c7 to a5. The only way White could really play is by proving his bishop is good, and it's going to be a bit difficult.
Proving light.
It's going to be a bit difficult. If he plays g4, of course we play g6.
Yeah, we have the rebuilder.
And in some sense, it helps us because we're solid enough. And look at his f4 pawn. Hold on. Now he can't play
so much
g3
weaker. He doesn't have to rebuild anymore.
Yeah. Basically, if you don't pick fights, you can't win anyways. White cannot win crushes on light, and by doing this, all he's doing is making it worse for himself on the dark squares.
Right. So what happens if White has this in-between move and takes on f6? Would this be...
Alright, so we saw a line that happens here. Okay, you want to show how that played out for a moment? Go back. So again, we saw queen takes... Knight takes, trade with no problem, queen d5, and we're happy enough. Yeah, it's going to be comfortable. At least equal. Yeah, alright. So go back. So then we go back when we move. So in this case, when we take the thing, what he's supposed to do, actually, is take the knight first. Go ahead. So knight takes, pawn takes, then queen takes. And I still would say, yeah, queen d5 is comfortable enough. e6 is coming. Yeah, knight d7. And we're going to castle queen side most of the time.
So what do you think of these endgames? Are they any different with the pawn on f6?
Yeah, there's pros and cons. I think most of the... Honestly, I think this is even better than before. This is even better. It's even better. There's no reason... Again, show the hook. e6, f5. The hook.
Oh, that's really good light rebuilders.
Yeah, the hook. Yeah, the pawn's light bricks are rebuilding. Rook g8, knight c6, and maybe minority attack. You got to be careful. I know you're doing minority attack. Elijah's very into minority attack. It's good, but you got to also be careful. There's a lot of other stuff happening. Sometimes you got your hands full. There's other good opportunities you want to play for. So minority attack is like a default, but there's other things even more pressing. You might want to focus on that. So let's give an example. Let's say d4. Yeah, d4, knight c6 maybe. Probably good. Yeah, e6 is fine. I'll show you what I love to see when they play bishop a5. And then I play a6, and if they take, and then sometimes they play a quote-unquote solid. This is like a great endgame for black, like really, really good. And black has so much flexibility.
Is it because all of his pawns are on light squares?
Pawns are on light. You have a lot of flexibility. You're going to play King David 7. You're going to get pressure on the B file. Show the B file. His bishop has only one good location. It's F4. Given the chance, we don't allow it. No. The next move should be bishop D6. If white doesn't play bishop F4, don't let him. Bishop D6, and then he's much worse. That's going to make a difference, being slightly worse, much worse. We're going to play H5, Rook G8 here, maybe pawn F5 eventually. King should be on D7. Bishop D6, yes. Rook B8. And there's we could show structures. I mean, I don't know. Whose turn is it? Why would we gotta give white any moves? It's ridiculous.
Well, it's just about the typical ideas and structures and closed positions a lot of the time. But
we should give a few moves.
Okay, sure.
Give a few moves. Bishop E3, let's say. Bishop D6. Well, hold on. Let's give him F4. Give him F4. Yeah, give him F4.
In the style.
No, Bishop F4. Bishop F4.
In the style of Feingold. Whose move is it?
King D7 is funny. Exactly. Yeah. King D7. King E2. No problem. King E2. Rook G8. Rook G8 is okay. G3. I actually like Bishop D6. I don't mind trading. No, I don't mind trading.
I've heard Rook endgames are often very drawish. How do we play for a win here?
He plays H4. Show. He plays H4. H5. I remember when Roman showed this to me, and I was really interested. I was like, wow, this is incredible that black could be better here. The idea is you're going to play F5, F4 as a lever, yeah. So it's almost like eventually he has to play F4 himself. So Rook G1. Yeah, probably, okay, now F5. And we're going to play like Rook G4 and F4 and double up. Okay, show the lines, Rook G4, show the
restrain,
arrows.
Blockade, destroy. Nimzovich is back.
It's not even backwards yet, but it will be, and he's in a lot of trouble. Plus we have 2 bullets. Hold on, show the second F1, the second bullet coming.
Bullet rebuild?
Yeah, so it's 2 ice that you don't have if you have double pawns. That's what gives you a second chance. It's kind of nice.
Fantastic.
So he plays pawn F4. He plays pawn F4, and then you have like a long-term squeeze. I wouldn't even go Rook G4 yet. Honestly, he's going to protect. Now we'll play A5. Switch gears. A5.
Just keep
go
it
back.
flexible.
Now he plays B3. Show. I'll play. I want to show you a stream of consciousness here. Like maybe hold on. One second. Rook C8. Rook G8. Rook G8, maybe King David 2. Okay, C5, go ahead. C5, he takes. Rook takes. Rook C1. Rook C8.
Nimzovich would be so happy.
Rook C2. F6. Rook, let's say E1. Now E5. This is really important. And this is like a kind of like... this is kind of cool how you're just winning something. Pawn takes. And then pawn takes and like Rook F1. King E6, no problem, and you're like you're little by little gonna squeeze him. Again, we put pawns on light with the juice. Let me show you. Okay, King D3, King David. Okay, you're gonna play. Ooh, you play E4. No, you do. No, Rook G8. Now his prince Rook G8, and then he goes over. Go ahead. It goes over. At some point, you play Rook G4. Yeah, Rook G4 is good. King D2, King David 2. And you play E4.
Preparing the king postulate.
And then the rook comes around, and then swings here, and then it's little by little gets over. Yeah. Anyway, a lot of moves, but I think worthwhile. Yeah.
It's not a. This opening is.
No.
I agree. It's definitely worthwhile. It's not about moves. It's about the structures. It's about the ideas. It's about
endgame into the endgame. It's opening F6. We think of endgame.
Oh, this is so interesting because
F5 endgame.
Because I remember like early lessons with Yakov. I would be trying to make this so concrete, and that's still my style to a pretty decent extent. But then Yakov's like, no, it's not about the moves. Here's what I'm aiming for in this position. Here's this typical middle game, typical position, typical end game, typical colors, and I'm like, wait, we're not even paying attention to this position. But then I realized that there's all these underlying positions that we're aiming for, and people actually don't understand these positions at all. And then I start applying them, like, whoa, this is really.
It gives it a flavor. It gives it a nice flavor. I feel a good feeling for what you're doing early on. Yeah.
There's so many like
artistic,
it's like there's all
even here the end game, right? Pawns on light with dark intentions. King E5. Look. King E5. Show the king. King
F5. King mini bishop.
Mini bishop? Yeah, like a bishop.
Yeah, the king's like a...
Pawns on mini bishops on light, and then the king is like a dark bishop.
Dark bishop, yeah.
Even the rooks are tickling dark. They're tickling C3 and tickling G3. And the breaks are F4 and D4.
Symbolic. Light, but with dark leverage.
Dark intent, yeah, exactly. Pawns on light with dark oozing through. So I think it's kind of cool. And you could really think about this from move 6. 5, 6. It's nice. And I think that could be helpful.
That's deep.
Let me be honest. It's very difficult to do this, and you might right now the students may have the words, but have some understanding, but not the max. And it, or you know, or only a little bit, and
it's complicated. It takes
obviously,
a while.
someone could tell this to me when I started and playing it, and it would help, and it did inspire me, Roman. But Roman inspired me in this, but a lot of these ideas came later when I understood it more and more.
It took me like 6 months to understand the concept of leverage. I'm going to give a summary real quick, but we'll have to explain as we go.
But yeah, I mean, again, I think part of it would be a nice experience to play out these openings,
try it in
play
your
other
own
openings too,
and just think about the colors.
Think about colors. That could be nice.
I do want to explain leverage though. So when you control mainly one color with like pawns, it frees your pieces to go to the other color because you've already shored up your weaknesses. So we have light with dark leverage.
On one color, you could kind of relax and have comfort to extend all your inner energies towards the other color. Yeah.
Exactly. So let's look at. We're gonna look at some of the other stuff.
There's a few lines we could We could have insect repellent. Elijah is obsessed with like, what if this? What if this? So I had to oblige, and I had to.
He's like, I would be like, well, this is one critical line, and Yakov's like, I played 20,000 games in this line, and I've never faced it once.
So we're gonna try to keep.
But it's a good line. It's like, but it'll never happen.
We're gonna try to keep things balanced, that practical.
Yakov made me put the theory at the end, so we're gonna put the stuff that actually happens in the games first, and we're gonna put the theory at the end.
We're gonna put the theory at the end. Yeah. Just to make sure Elijah doesn't go completely nuts. All right.
I'm already completely nuts. He's just hiding the fact that I'm nuts.
Okay. Hiding. That's good. Okay, that's good. All right.
Well, at least I ate the cheesecake, so like we were putting cheesecake in the Stonewall course. I was eating the cheesecake during the videos, but we ate it in advance, prophylaxis. So now I can't eat it during the videos.
Exactly. We gotta get some other coconut cake or something.
Oh yeah. We could maybe have a later
Carolina
video.
Coconut sounds similar enough.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
So knight f6. Well, let's look at another sideline for knight g3. All right.
Knight g3 is knight g3. Sometimes they don't take, right? They play knight g3.
Yeah, probably because of bishop f5. Then they typically play knight g3, right?
Yeah. So again, a lot of times people play what they're used to, the comfort level. It's so early in the game.
Mm-hmm.
People like to in blitz, especially in tournaments, they like to feel like they're not totally out of their comfort. They play. They see a move they're used to. They're like, all right, this is close enough. They'll play it, and it's not always a mistake, but it can be, or it's just a common thing that people do. So I think that's fair to take into account. And I think that's why knight g3 is played more than it probably it should be. It's not all that good, but it's the known move, and that's what people play in the main. That's what they sometimes play here. Knight f6, go ahead.
Knight f6, knight g3.
H5.
H5. Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember I was in a group lesson with Grandmaster Jacob Akard, or Jakob Olgard, as some people call him. Mm-hmm. So he said with the knight on g3, h5, h4 is a typical idea, and with black, knight g6, h4, h5, and with you could just apply. Whenever they have the knight over there, like knight square from the rook, and we could shove the rook pawn and try to attack the rook, and attack the knight. And it's really typical. You think it's not developing, but it basically is, because it pushes back the opponent's knight, and this is especially typical these days, especially since the advent of the Alpha Zero, and it's covered by Matthew Sadler among others, where the H-pawn all the way into the opponent's territory weakens colors near the color complex near the king and has long-term attacking chances, and we're going to see that here. Yeah,
I guess it's like when you go bowling, the professional bowlers, they swing the ball always in the gutter and curves back in, right? Curves back in. H-point curves back this.
Oh, it's kind of funny because like Timur was showing me this stuff too, and then we went bowling, so it's like it all comes back in the end. Alpha Zero going bowling, this is what H5 is all about.
But bowling.
Bowling. Yeah. So chess is like bowling at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's like you. So I think if you want to know how to name this motif, just call it Agard's lunge. You got to give credit where credit's due. Oh, got a lunge. Okay.
The bowling ball.
The bowling ball. Yeah, actually, that's a better name for it.
That's kind of a good name.
The bowling ball. Yeah. Alpha Zero's bowling ball. Actually, it's only Alpha Zero if you get it all the way over there.
Maybe. Okay.
No, when you attack the knight, it's the bowling ball.
Yeah, H5. Look, why is H5? Because his knight has some limited locations. Look, he can't go to E4. Hold on, show. He can't go to E4. Why can't he go to show? Knight E4 is the knight, and he can't go to f5, so he runs out of squares.
Plus, we want to put our bishop on these squares. We don't want this pesky knight getting in the way. Wait, actually, that's kind of funny, because I was thinking we could potentially play it anyway, because if knight takes...
You could. You're actually able to. You just lose the bishop pair.
Yeah, that's kind of important.
Yeah, but actually that's a good one. We'll be seeing that idea, queen a5.
Yeah, these queens swing over. It's like, before we were saying the main thing of the Caricon is we were building the mini bishop, but the other thing is we get those frisky queens, you know?
Yeah. Good. Okay, so again, h5 is played.
H5. Let's look at what happens if they don't take our bowling ball seriously enough.
He's trying to attack hold on. He's trying to attack our knight to get a square for his knight, right?
That's true.
That's the idea. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but this bowling ball is going to be rolling really fast.
H4 is pretty fast though. It rolls fast. H4.
Okay, I'd like you to
hold on. So you H4, you attack. What's it? Go back. So H4 is played. He go back one move. Go back. So he now, instead of moving the knight, as planned, he takes. As we expect, he takes our knight.
He's trying to gain the e4 square for his knight. Yeah. But naturally, we don't allow that. Taking
the bishop isn't bad. Taking the knight's even better, because now
we have threats.
Well, his the immediate threat is, if let's say rook takes h2, and the pawn is too strong. I mean,
rook takes h2. Takes, and we have the double attack.
The queens, so he goes bishop e5 to try and stop it.
Yeah, he's trying to well, first of all, why are we not taking on f2? Well, obviously the king postulate's too strong. So let's that's just a
taking f2 is a little too it's okay, but
we don't want to go here though. Takes, the bishop will recapture. I'd like you to pause here and find the winning tactic.
Yeah, see what you could do. See, it's a nice little quiz if you feel like it. All right, so yeah. Go ahead.
My hint is, as my brother Gus would say, when in doubt, sack your queen, and I'm always in doubt. Okay.
So rook takes h2. Rook takes h2 is nice.
Preparing.
And now, if you take, he just takes back. So if you take.
Yeah, this is just exchange.
He just takes back. All right, so go ahead, go back.
So here instead, we have the standard fork. Hanging pieces are pretty good. I like to take hanging pieces. So I'm going to take this hanging bishop real quick.
Queen takes, incredible. And I remember Roman showed this to me. It was like, wow. And then you take, it's check. Go ahead.
This really shows why we can play as the Caricon attack.
Yeah. Pawn takes rook, and now we won the rook back, but more importantly, we get a new queen, and
we're up a piece.
Yeah.
I mean, free pieces are good, right? It says my friend Joseph Trulson would say, if it's free, it's for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
All right. So that's good.
All right. So h5, and Let's look at if h3 or whatever. It just doesn't matter. We just h4. We have some space advantage.
Now that's that variation. Rarely I never had it.
It won't happen.
No, it won't happen. It's kind of nice. Nice. It's nice to look. It's nice to show to friends and stuff. It's a nice variation.
Yeah, it
shows how powerful h4 is.
It's one of the most important variations in the course because you probably won't have it. And the reason for that is this course is less about lines and more about ideas, colors, enjoying the game, enjoying the positions. When you study middle games, you're often not trying to get a certain exact position, but you enjoy and learn anyway. And with openings, people often focus heavily on memorization. Now, there's a time and place for that, and I do this quite a lot. Nonetheless, if you do it at the expense of enjoying the positions and understanding, that can be a bit much. So we're trying to correct in the opposite direction here.
Okay.
As one does. Okay, so h4.
Bishop g4.
Well, yeah, bishop g4 and oh, this is gonna be fun. More king postulates coming up, right?
Yeah. Okay. So bishop g4. There's a couple ways to stop it, but he plays like f3.
Hikaru style.
Yeah.
Didn't Hikaru play this against
you?
Yeah,
he did against you. Yeah, queen c7. Now look how he's weakening the dark though. The g3. Go ahead. King f2.
King postulate. King postulate, and this king's actually somewhat safe here because it's controlled, but it's not as safe as it looks because we can sack all our pieces.
Knight d7.
And I think
he takes. Yeah.
I just want to emphasize something here. Like if the dark squares were really secure, the king is totally safe on f2. If black opens up the dark squares, the king is not safe. We have to consider how to open up that diagonal.
It's not that safe.
Well, it's only because we can open the. Well, you gotta respect the king postulate, but Hikaru played this as white. But nonetheless, we're gonna open that.
It is exact. Well, he has really weakened too many pawns. There's a lot of fun monkey business here. This e3 is weak. It's not. There's a problem on e3. There's a time and place. This is too loose. It's a bit. He takes. I'll show you what happens. Show. Pawn takes.
Like it takes. Knight takes
here, and then like castle queen.
Oh, I just want to emphasize this. If it's white's turn, the power of the king postulate takes. King takes g4, and white's winning. So respect the king postulate.
Yeah,
but we have the king postulator.
We all respect the king postulator. We all love you, and you all love your.
It's not about me. It's about the kings. It's about the king.
We love the kings too.
We gotta respect the king postulator.
Yeah.
So if they take here, we have 95, which protects the knight, and then we win their knight. So that's why. Yeah. But also, we gotta consider what castling is. Castling is actually postulating 2 pieces at once. It's one of the most overpowered moves in all of chess, actually. So we get to develop the rook and the king at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so yeah, this is how the game against Naka went, and he was much worse. He's even the computer says White's much worse. A piece up, but like much worse, but down by a couple units.
Well, no wonder we're doing well. We're behind. we're down a piece.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway, so we go back. So that's good. So again, there's a lot of trouble in these lines. F3. Notice how look. The reason why he's so weak is he moved the H1. Hold on. He already moved the H1. Now loosen G3. Show G3. He's losing G, and then he's playing F1. Then the dark is even looser. Show G3. Click on G3, please. It's even looser. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead.
While we're on that topic, let's look at more bowling ball variations. Bishop C4, H4, Knight E2, Bishop F5. We just have smooth development, and plus, if they ever play Knight F3, we can always loosen things up even further with H3. So, like more bowling ball. I mean, these bowling balls are pretty strong. You know, bowling ball variation of chess. That's where it's at. So H4.
And this is a really cool variant. I've had this like dozens of times against title players, and it's really cool. H3 is a wedge on light, right? And making an invasion. Go ahead. He plays G3.
Bishop G4.
That's alright.
Attacking the knight. So
there's a couple lines you can play. Knight F4 is the most like in Instinct and Bullet. They're always playing Knight F4. GMs, IMs. They're playing Knight F4. And okay, this is a great place to pause for the students. If you want to try to try and find the move, it's actually winning move.
Remember, the light squares are weak.
Yeah. Okay, and we could.
All right. I'm assuming you paused and found it. So we go dark with light intentions.
E5. No, it'll go back a second. Go back. It's easy. Like sometimes the students will say bishop takes F3.
Well, we can.
Go ahead. Show. Queen takes.
But then they
it's good. It's maybe, but anyways, I'm not so sure.
And the bishop pair.
Anyways, it's not. My point. It's not. It's not anything special. It's a better move. It's good, but it's better. Go ahead. Go back.
Look, we're trying to crush the opponents here. This is the Caro-Kann attack, not the Caro-Kann compensation.
E5. Yeah.
E5. And if
E5. Hold on. First things first. It's a funny move because you can attack it two ways, right?
Well, just the usual sack all your pieces. Zaitsev has an interesting book on that, attacking the strong square. So if they've overprotected a square and we break through on that square and it works concretely, we usually ruin their harmony. This is such an important concept.
That's a good idea. When everything is built in position is built to prevent something, that means that's where his position, and you hit him anyways there. That's a problem. Like if he builds it toward a certain square, you hit him somewhere else. All right, he knows his strengths, he knows his weaknesses, and the position continues and it goes. That's the fight. But if you hit him where he's strong, you're like, oh, nothing left. It makes sense conceptually, nothing left.
Yeah, hit him where he's strong. Hit him where he's strong. You gotta correct from the opposite direction.
I think we could add to that. Whenever you're when you're behind on a color, and you hit him on a color he's ahead on. You know that's over. That's when you know that's the final blow.
He thinks he's ahead, but it's because
it's not here. It doesn't apply. Here, color money is equal, but color money, that's a good thing to keep in mind. Color money, whenever you hit him on his color, then you know that the game's over. That's it.
It's really interesting though because even though there's equal color money here, from the piece's perspective, from the pawn's perspective, he's weakened light. And it's because the weakness of light that we're able to strike on dark.
So hold on. Good. If you can't, hold on. Show the line. You can't take with a knight. Because it's pinned. Okay, go ahead.
3 queens are pretty good.
Okay, he can't take. So he takes he takes the pawn. Then you take the queen,
removing the defender, and we win a piece
and
a rook.
You win the rook. Yeah, you win enough. You're way ahead.
We win the king.
Okay, go ahead. So go back.
Okay. And if knight d3, then we play e4.
Go back to the original position. So and then here, if he plays knight David 3, you play e4.
Yeah, that's right.
Go back. And if he plays queen e2. By the way, Queen E2 is most played when they have this, and at this point, the instinct. What's the instinct? The instinct is to take the knight F3.
Yeah, I think that's still my instinct. Yeah.
Okay, take the knight. No. Take the knight. He takes back. And then you take on F4, and that's good. You're up a piece. Go back. There's a better move. Continue. You gotta
continuing the light struggle.
You think about winning. This is not the way. You gotta think about deep. You gotta envelop yourself in the position. And be one with the position. It sounds poetic, But I really think you have to prioritize feeling the position, understanding the position over any wanting to win or wanting to lose or not wanting to win, not wanting.
We're not relevant to chess. Chess is relevant. It's like as Yakov once told me.
Be in the moment, be in the feeling. Yeah,
yeah, it's like prove yourself. You don't play chess to prove yourself. You play chess to prove the pieces. What do you think the pieces have to say about that? We're here to. So,
yeah, the move light e4. That's the light brick. It's a beautiful thing because look how powerful it is. It's pinning his knight. You're gonna win everything. You're not now scrounging around to win a piece. Here you're like winning a piece. He's lucky to only lose a piece. But it's symbolic light. There's a certain symbol. Be proud of your moves. Be proud of what's going on. They play queen e3. Notice how he can't play bishop g2. Notice, go. Because the h pawn, the light brick.
Alpha Zero's bowling ball strikes back.
Yeah,
Strikes.
Yeah, exactly. Back. Queen e3. Go ahead. Queen e3. Bishop takes. And I've had this a lot. Bishop rook g1. Knight g4.
Wow.
Yeah, I've had it. This is funny. Queen b. No, queen boy 3. Queen boy. Queen takes d. Obviously, you have a piece. It's just kind of clever. Plays that. Bishop e3. Go ahead. Knight takes. Bishop. Pawn takes, and then queen b4 check, and it's over. It's nice, clean. All right.
Nice and smooth.
Smooth.
I would say it's smooth like cheesecake, but we already covered the cheesecake, and we don't have any more cheesecakes handy.
I do feel like coconut cake. We have a nut here.
Yeah, when we go out for lunch, we should get a bagel, and we should get coconut cake, and then when we come back after this video. So,
okay, fine. Okay, so that's the line, and then we have a couple light ideas here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, this is gonna get so cool. So g3,
go ahead.
bishop g4. Let's continue this.
Bishop on the topic of light. Knight e5. Knight e5 is also another idea.
Queen d5.
Queen David 5
light.
is important. Yeah.
Light. Rook g1. Knight d7. We're developing, but also he can't even really take us because we take back.
He could take our light bishop, but then our knight really is show that for a second. Knight takes.
Yeah, this is just completely failing for white.
The pawn is hard to defend, and you go back to f3 maybe, and then mate. Show knight h2, and then knight f3. Just show
checkmate.
It's mate. It's a nice juicy light.
Light with dark intentions.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Dark leverage. Well, actually, does that work? I don't know.
I would say light. Mostly light with light intentions. So light with it's just like a pure light.
Sometimes chess is a light game, you know.
Creamy, creamy light. Okay, go ahead. Go back. Yeah.
Cream sounds pretty good too. Okay.
So you go c4. Go back one move. One move. You jumped. Okay. Knight e5. So we played knight d7. We challenged his knight, and now he plays c4.
I'd like you to pause and try to find the winning tactic.
Yeah, this is a good time to pause.
I can almost taste the cream now.
So, okay, we could take a look. All right. Knight takes.
When in doubt, sack the queen.
Oh, first of all, if he takes our knight,
well,
we win the pawn. Yeah, we're very happy.
And we have a nice lead in development, too.
Oh, yeah, very strong. And if he takes the queen, knight f3 is actually a really, really nice mate.
Checkmate.
And it all came with we loosened him up on light with the f3. Why did f3 get loose? Because the h and the h5, the bowling ball.
Alpha Zero's bowling ball destroyed light, and then we break through naturally on light.
Exactly.
So I think that's enough bowling for now. We could come back to bowling later, perhaps. Let's look at some other ideas we could try. Like, for instance, knight g5
is played. It happens.
It's okay. I just don't like having pesky opponents' pieces in our territory. Like, they might start doing things.
Sometimes you get the knights involved.
So let's just chase them away while we can. And
it's innocuous. Bishop here, yeah. Bishop David 3.
Oh, yeah, the queen. Queen postulate. I gotta get those long queen moves rolling, and we're gonna see this in more detail soon. So bishop d3, e6.
No, hold on. When they play this, we may trade. But here's the thing. E6 looks like a mistake. Why is E6?
Well, because we would damage the pawn structure if he takes.
And we'll take back. We have weird double pawns, but it's actually nice, and you guys will enjoy this. This is a trick that is my Simpson enjoy. It's a fun twist. You let him take, and then you have queen a5 check.
It's nice and tasty.
You're not even winning material, but it's a fun thing to do, and also you're getting an active queen.
It is active, and typically you don't want to develop your queen in the opening, but that's because the opponent would be attacking your queen, and I don't see any good minor piece attacks to attack the queen. We even have a lead in development.
What's the queen symbolic of?
A replacement light bishop.
You only have show the dark bishop. Mm-hmm. Now the queen is acting as a replacement light bishop, yeah.
Yeah, white's also not having a good bishop here. These pawns are all in dark squares, so there's not as much color harmony.
He doesn't have as much harmony, yeah.
Would you say Alpha Zero's bowling ball is still coming in handy?
I almost feel like I'll show you an example. Maybe not. I don't know. Let me show you an example. Just a thought process. Queen boy 3. Let's say he plays queen b3, which honestly is not that bad.
How terrible is queen b5?
I was gonna say queen b5. I'm leaning towards something funny. Queen e4 check. Look how he's hitting b7. Look how he's hold on. If we go back, go back a second. he's going to hitting b7, which is symbolic. His queen is also saying, I'm also a light bishop. Queen b5 is possible. I was thinking about that, but now I'm noticing something else. Queen e4 check, and then c5, and then the queen is again helping on light.
Fantastic.
I think that's kind of cool. I think there's something, and he can't castle this. He can't castle.
Well, b7 maybe, but the idea.
No. There's no way. And then queen comes back to e4. There's no way.
Oh wait, that's true.
Go ahead. Here,
I missed that.
Queen e4. The queen's acting as
a replacement light bishop.
Yeah.
And there's the king postulate. That's how you know it's good. Because your king is wandering, your position's fantastic.
Well, maybe I suppose so. If Elijah says so, I guess it's so.
You have to develop a feel for it. You know,
Okay.
experience it for yourself, and you'll sort of.
That's good.
Just like what could be more relaxing as on a weekend? What do you want to do? You just want to kick back and relax. And what could be more relaxing than a king postulate?
King postulate, yeah, margarita and a king postulate. There you go. All right, so here you go. So knight. Yeah, that's an interesting line. Okay, fine. So knight g5 they play, but it's no big deal. And bishop. Okay, so let's see another line. Bishop d3.
Well, I like 3 pawns. Also, this is so important. So Nimzovich would talk about how you shouldn't go pawn grabbing in the opening and leave that for experienced players because it's risky to go behind in development, etc., etc. But this applies to non-central pawns because one of the main points of development is to control the center. So by taking the opponent's central pawn, we are indirectly helping our development.
Yeah, that makes sense. And knight. Show him one move. Knight f3.
You could probably just go
Queen
back,
David,
right?
David 5.
Oh, that's really interesting. Oh, yeah,
light.
Swinging over?
Yeah, it's light energies. Yeah. If he takes, knight takes, G takes. And
Standard, yeah.
And then it's great because then bishop. No, for instance, like bishop e3. Show bishop e3. Rook g8 is already almost over. Rook
G8. Oh wow.
And you play rook g8.
That's amazing.
Go ahead, show rook g8. He castles, and then bishop h3 is over. It's over. So, anyways, that's important. Okay, fine. Sometimes the pawn, really basically what you're saying, the pawn leads to better development, and it's not just a free pawn. All right, if we go back,
Queen e2 is just the same.
Yeah, Queen e2 is about.
We could even recapture on f6 with the queen if we wanted, but I don't know if we would.
I don't think so. Take the pawn.
Bronstein
Larsen, yeah. Okay.
So let's look at knight takes f6 now.
Knight takes is okay. Back here.
Let's look at knight e2 here. This is another one of those standard positions because it's not as good to play bishop g4 in the knight e2 lines because they can start attacking the bishop there. So bishop f5 is more standard. Knight g3, bishop g6. And this is kind of like the main line, but we've improved the position.
Yeah, right, yeah, exactly. Double pawns are improvement, absolutely. No, I mean, I've been telling students lately, like, the double pawns is the whole kind of, bad. It's like, it's a rule that has exceptions, right? But I started thinking about this recently, and probably more than half the time, double pawns are good. So, how could you have a rule that is wrong more than half the time?
And if you want accurate discussion of these principles, Shankland has an excellent book that covers double pawns, small steps to giant improvement.
Yeah. Double pawns are more. I think more often than not, they're good, and this is a good opening to practice that.
I agree.
Okay.
So h4, h5, and well, this is kind of interesting here because our h pawn might seem weak there, but if they target it, then their h pawn becomes weak themselves, and this knight's really restricted. Distance 4, right? You want your pawn to be 4 squares away from the opponent's knight. Well, if you include the squares the pawn and knight are on, and also the bishop because it's just restricting on diagonals. Look at this knight. Is it ever going to move? Okay, by the way, credit where credit's due. Thomas Luther. Grandmaster Thomas Luther. Luther's chess reformation. Distance 4 is a really useful concept.
Bishop e2 we could show. Bishop e2, right?
Bishop e2?
To gang up, we could play e6 now.
No.
Knight e7 is fine, yeah.
e6 is also strong. It's like we were looking at this because in some positions we might want to play e5 directly, but probably it's just it's very similar to each other.
Similar. It's just good to know. If he takes, it's very easy to fall. The bishop takes h5. Go ahead, bishop
well,
takes.
I like taking free pieces.
And then
Queen postulate.
Queen h5, very nice. Queen a5 rather. Queen a5 check. This is so easy to fall into that. People fall into that a lot.
I like free pieces.
And that's good, yeah. So you're actually indirectly protecting. Okay, good.
So let's look at what happens if white plays c3. Well, now we play queen a5. We're protecting.
Queen a5, protecting the pawn.
Past the queen side. Let's say a4 castles. We have the X-ray. Maybe we're playing e5. So they push us back. Well, if they're going to go pawn grabbing, that's great because we're ahead in development, and e5's coming in. Where are they castling? I mean, if they castle kingside, they're already loosened up, and the center is going to be open. This is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for him. He'll win the pawn, but it's a bit dangerous. So, knight takes. What we're going to do? Knight takes.
Like knight takes, maybe e5.
And then
here?
e5. E5 is good, and then
just breaking through on.
Yeah, it's difficult. So knight g3 he goes. Pawn takes pawn. If he takes with the c pawn, you take on b4, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Go. C takes. Bishop takes b4 check. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And if he takes with a queen, you have like c5, I believe.
C5 or even knight e5. Yeah, there's a lot of ideas.
No, you lose a7. You gotta yeah.
Oh yeah! Wow! And then we have such a
rook e8.
Massive initiative here. Where's White's king in a castle?
Attack here. And this is interesting. It'd be fun if the students have these kind of lines. It'd be cool to post it or to ask about it. It'd be fun.
Please post in the comments. Actually, interesting games in this line you play. You can ask whatever questions you want.
Any lines, but particularly this would be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be really fun. Okay. So queen a5, b4, queen c7. It's kind of the same.
It's a little exploratory. I haven't had this much. I really have. I have had this so again.
This is
like you could end this theory, but I've had this so few times. It's like
Yakov's like, where's the theory? I'm not getting the theory. It's about the ideas, the typical positions, and then like I was saying 97, and Yakov was playing e6, but that's because like he hasn't memorized this, and how many games did he play? 20,000. In the
Caro-Kann, at least 20, 30 times probably. Yeah.
And you're getting you got to 3,000 chess.com blitz with this repertoire, right?
Yeah.
You play against mainly IMs and GMs?
Yeah.
So this is a very low maintenance repertoire. Although it's like we have this conflict because it's like, well, what if they play?
Is a perfectionist in this, so we're gonna try to keep him tame.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a little feed a little bit.
I'm on orders. Like this is the one time in this disclaimer I was like, well, what about this variation? And if White plays this line, nobody plays, then White's somewhat better maybe. And it's like, look, no one will ever play that. Stop it. That's not what this course is about. You're just like, let's focus on everything else.
I'm trying to show what actually happens and more, rather than what doesn't happen. But okay. So that's good. Yeah. So we go back. Mm-hmm. Go back, please.
Let's look at bishop c4.
Bishop c4, okay. Yeah, we do have to see that line at bishop g6 where the bishop gets locked. Bishop f5.
Oh my god, this is gonna be fun. We're about to do that too.
Yeah, okay, good.
Bishop f5.
Knight e2 or something, or knight f. Knight f3.
I just want to make clear we're playing bishop f5 in these lines, but we don't do that in the knight f3 mainly because we want to prevent g3 bishop g2 because it's kind of annoying to face this long diagonal when we castle queenside. So it's prophylaxis because we would win the d4 pawn.
There is one important thing to avoid in this line, and that to avoid is getting outplayed in a race. We're going to castle queenside. He's going to castle kingside. We don't want to lose the race. When it's opposite sides castling, it's very important to remember what it really comes down to. It's a race. Whose mating attack will come first? Normally black is very happy. We already have the open g file, right? So the problem is when white plays g3, the attack is much slower for one. Also, secondly, is that bishop will actually make his attack b4 boy faster. Okay. So you're gonna want to avoid that. I've had this a lot, and since then I've worked very, very hard to find lines to avoid this from happening.
I would say that there's almost no theory that you need to know in the Bronstein Larsen, but if there was anything, and Yakov's like, no one ever plays, so maybe it's not actually necessary. But
they try to play G3. I mean, I think it's also over the 2000 level. So
like masters will play this.
Masters, and they know.
So when I give you theory in G3, things may get concrete, but you don't need to. Yakov will say you don't need to know this; it doesn't come up as much. I will say masters looking to play this in slow chess will need to know this in further slow games, but for the most part, you don't. So
just a key, but yes, even lower. Occasionally, it's going to happen, so it's okay to it's definitely somewhat helpful. Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead. We got to see the diamond dot.
The diamond dot. The diamond dot is where it's at. Okay,
go ahead.
E6,
knight G3, yeah.
Bishop G6.
But hold on, did you explain why bishop f5 is okay here? Explain why. Hold on. Go back. Go back 2 more moves.
Yeah, we're playing bishop f5 rather than bishop g4 because we don't need to. He's already committed to bishop.
We don't need to, right. Again, we're happy to play f5, but if he's saying I don't need... Yeah, then first of all, we can't play bishop g4.
Well, he would have taken it. And we're not going to block our bishop inside the pawn chain.
You can play bishop g4, but we don't. And but the good news is we don't need to because he's already established that
he's not going to
play g3, and so bishop f5. That's why when I started playing, I got confused. I used to always play bishop f5, and Roman told me no. You have to most of the time, bishop g4. Here, yes.
Is that because of the g3 lines?
It's mostly because of g3. Yeah, mostly. Yeah, it's good.
So
but we'll see that in a second. Bishop f5.
So if they play something slow, well, it's going to get to normal positions. We'll cover this soon enough. Let's look at this with knight f3. Well, actually, no. Actually, I think we should talk about this position for a moment.
Okay, those are two different things. Yeah, those are two different laws. So this position, go back for me. We went too quick. Go back.
My tendency.
Okay, so go ahead, knight e2. Go ahead, whatever, knight e2.
Knight e2.
e6, knight e2. He's swinging the knight. It's a little scary. You got to be careful the knight doesn't trap the bishop. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Knight d7.
The general plan is we're still castling queenside. We'd like to play knight b6, knight d5, and if the knight comes to g3, knight f4 might still be a typical idea.
Maybe that's later, yeah, but yeah, at some point. Bishop d6 is not played. You got to castle first.
Oh, right.
Later.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's very important. I used to play bishop d6 and I got hit a lot of times hard. Yeah, don't delay the bishop. You got to first castle and then deal with the bishop.
So when you say you got hit hard, what ideas were you getting hit with?
They hit me too hard, too quick. C4, D5. The center blasted open, and I never.
There. Was that the game against Shankland?
That was one I hit a lot of times. Shankland was one of hundreds. Yeah. So you got to castle quick. You got to castle. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
So knight g3, bishop g6, h4, h5, and there's something really interesting.
Hold on. Why h4? Why is h4 trying?
It's the bowling ball. They're trying to bowl.
He's trying to trap the bishop. Okay, so at this point you got to play h5 to stop the bishop.
And this is really interesting because what about f4, f5?
Wait. Hold on.
Okay.
f4. You can show f4. What is he trying to do? He's trying to
destroy our structure. After we take, he's going to take back, takes. We have the triple isolated pawns.
He's trying to trap our bishop and or completely wreck our structure. At this point, it's a little weird. And I remember Roman showing this to me, and he said, "No, Ed, this is very, very good for black. Everyone loves it as white. All the players they play it, they love it. And it's not good. F5, yeah, F5.
Yeah, this was striking to me because we're trapping our own bishop, but this is actually really good. So first of all, there's a weakness on h4 which we might target at some point. Second of all, we have knight e4 coming, and if they ever take, we can free our bishop this way. Third, the bishop is not permanently trapped. In the long run, we can always free this bishop through d8 or even through f7 and then e5. And 4, we sort of fixed the weaknesses. We have more than enough compensation and all of our other pieces are coming out. Like for example, we could even target the f4 pawn.
His pawns are weak. Show his g2. His g2 is a backwards pawn.
On an open file.
And the bishop is not trapped because, again, we're going to basically play... No, not even that. No. Knight f6 to e4. He'll take, then we'll take... And then the bishop opens up, and it's very strong.
And if he doesn't take, we're going to have a really strong knight.
Knight, and then, like Elijah said, then as a backup plan, you could always, if you need to play f6.
We have more than enough compensation, and it's not actually the end.
I've done very, very well in this line. It doesn't happen too often, but I've done very, very well. I mean, really, really. Okay, so go ahead. We can see a few things. Go ahead.
Look at knight f3, e6, knight h4, bishop g6, and
hold on. Go back. We're seeing. So knight h4, he's trying to trap our bishop. We've seen this in the advance also, knight h4. People love to get the bishops, and there it wasn't good, and here, and also, we go back to g6. This is always one of my favorite line, really. Go ahead.
Yeah. I love the color harmony here.
Hold on. So go back to g6. At this point,
they're gonna take at some point.
By the way, if he plays, before taking, sometimes he'll play f4. Hold on.
Well, that's helping us.
Was it f4? And then he's trying to play. What is he trying to do?
He wants
F5.
to damage our structure.
Yes. So then you play f5, and look how the queen's attacking. Hold on, the queen's attacking the knight. He takes. It's okay. We can see like this knight takes, pawn takes, and now what do we have? These pawns are These are
diamond dacha.
This is diamond dacha. As I remember telling. This is diamond, and it's because this looks like a diamond. It's a beautiful structure. And go ahead. Why do we need pawns on light? Why?
Mini bishop. We gotta replace that light bishop. So they're up on light because they have a light square bishop against their knight. We're up on dark. So if we block all the white squares, they have no targets, and then we can go on dark. We have dark leverage through our light pawns.
What's our imbalance? We have a knight versus his light square bishop.
Right. So
which means he has a golden light square bishop. Click on the
golden light square bishop.
Light bishop.
But his golden bishop's blocked everywhere.
And we have a knight. In exchange.
This diamond dacha protects f5 so much. And so we have knight here, we have the bishop, something like this perhaps, bishop d6, queen h4, and we have a lot of dark potential.
Yeah, so again, it means he's ahead 500 on light, and we're ahead 500
Also,
dark. Yeah.
Also, it's fantastic because f5 is so secure that we can strike with g5 later if we need to.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. You never know when the pawns could act as dark weapons, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
okay, and he might not play f4. We could see it. The same would apply if he doesn't play it. Go back a few moves, please.
Knight takes g6. It's the same.
Same thing, yeah.
Diamond dacha. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's very good. And then often the knight envelops you. F5 and show. F5.
Mm-hmm.
And then the knight swings over d7 to f6. Beautiful. Then we castle and etc. And he's we're very comfortable, and his dark squares are always they're under attack even when they're not under attack, because we're ahead of piece. If you're ahead of piece, they know that anything could go wrong at any time. Guess what? You're ahead of piece on dark, then anything on dark could go wrong at any time. I think that's a good way to right. It's a good way to perspective.
Let there be dark.
Let there be dark. Okay.
So knight e2, preparing knight g3, trying to harass the bishop again. Okay, there's various move orders, but the general idea is that when we play these lines and they go for some knight e2, knight g3, we're aiming for the same structures. So actually, these can be just the whole opening can practically just be organized by structures, honestly.
If they don't play go back. If they don't play that, we play h5, h4.
Yeah, we're gonna be.
It's the bowling ball.
Yeah, and it's like because it's like so similar to AlphaZero's h pawn. I'm just gonna call AlphaZero's bowling ball.
Yeah.
You know, when AlphaZero goes bowling, then you know what something's going on.
But remember, also you gotta develop Queen C7. You gotta remember not to get too enwrapped in this. Let's remember the goal. You got a castle. The knight boy 6. Hold on. When the knight is on d7, you get later b6 with tempo. That's not. I always love when they play bishop c4. You get a free tempo later, and then maybe d5 or something.
Yes, and all this h5 stuff. It's like, why are we not developing? Well, we're gaining tempo. When it's like, as Ben Feingold would say, it's like you're trying to make them complete undevelopment, setting up for the next games. Well, if they're undeveloping and we're gaining tempi, then it basically counts as development.
Yeah, but again, I don't think we need to play h5 yet. I don't.
We
think
don't need to.
No. That's why I want to make sure. No. h5, knight e castle. The threat is stronger than the execution.
And the inclusion of h5, h4 is often going to favor black in the long run because the knight will be weak.
Yeah, but don't do it right away. No, not right away. Yeah. We don't do it right away. I think it's just
stay flexible.
Yeah. Don't try to be all this perfectionism. Really, you castle. No good. Yeah, castle. Okay, good. Okay. He plays. You gotta play h5. Okay, no problem. Oh yeah. When he plays h4, h5, we're happy. But if he doesn't play later on, you might play h5, not early. Plus, you let him castle king side. You're gonna scare him off before he gets there. You play h4, h5, h3, h2, and he's on the queen side. Well, what good is it?
Yeah, let's wait for him to castle first.
If you want to mate the king, you first check where the king is.
Never interrupt your opponent while he's making a mistake.
Yeah, let him make a mistake, and then you could pounce. Yeah.
Like, for example, if he's letting you do the king postulate. Okay, so
go ahead.
F5's typical here, but I just want to show an idea.
We can see some anti-G3 line.
Like, if he thinks he has this,
that's actually good. Sometimes you gotta let him play F5, and then Queen A5, and then you get that. That's actually good.
Back and
that's a good point to know that. Remember that Queen A5. That's helpful.
Yeah, the queen is a long-range piece. Queen postulate.
Yeah.
Okay. So C3. Bishop d6, move order may vary, and it doesn't really matter which move order.
Tickle the knight a little bit.
This is just an example variation.
Yeah. Again, usually we don't get the bishop out. I feel like here it's with tempo on the knight, it might be alright. It's borderline, but okay.
Yeah, we don't really want to take, though, because the queen would be bearing down.
Yeah.
So
again, but I'm saying the bishop in the beginning, we usually don't move that out before the knight. Here it's because it attacks his knight. The reason why we're doing that here is
we want
only because of tempo. Only because of tempo. Even here, by the way, Queen C7 might be. I don't know. We have this as an idea, but I would actually say this is okay. But if we go back, it's you won't go wrong with playing Queen C7, Knight E7, Castle. You're too enwrapped. You lose your mind. You go crazy. It's ridiculous. Knight E7, also Knight E5. Look. Knight you castle, Knight E7, castle, and often Knight Elephant 5.
Yeah, castles.
Castle.
The rook will be on D8, and then Knight D7, Knight E5 because of the queen.
And attacks the bishop. Yeah. So and then you hop from there to G4. Look, hopping to G4.
Yeah, transition.
If you go so much, you put I ran out of steam. You castle and then you fight.
Yeah, you got to get more.
So I'm gonna make a little adjustment here. This is good, but we could really lead the students to the better.
Like it's gonna be easier if you don't play Bishop D6 first, almost ever.
Yeah.
Then you don't. Queen C7. Easy to remember. Just Queen C7.
I've made the mistake. I've jumped on this in the tournament recently, and I'm like, why did I not listen to myself? And I got in trouble. It's not for no. It's easy to get jumpy. No.
I get jumpy all the time, but we gotta get jumpy in the right way.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Or it says Tao would say there are correct sacrifices and there are mine.
And then there are mine. Yeah,
okay, so Queen C7.
Okay, Queen C7. Yeah, keep control of dark swords. Let him take on your terms. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Queen is acting as
a replacement dark bishop.
Dark bishop. Okay, go ahead.
Passes queen side. So some typical ideas here. Let's just say.
Yeah.
For example, and now we have a double attack.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Just an example. Don't have the illusion that there's so much theory that you need to memorize here.
Okay.
Okay, so it's the same sort of thing. You can play bishop d6.
You're gonna need to challenge the bishop. You don't want the bishop breathing down your neck.
I mean, wonder about this sort of tempo gainer on the bishop.
Maybe. Actually, that's not bad. You know what? We could advise that. Yeah. You got a clean tempo on c4, then another tempo on d5.
I like free tempo.
So 2 tempi and 2. You could get I think that's okay. You get 2, that's all right. Yeah, we could do. You're that's right.
It's about the ideas.
We could go for that.
White's not playing concretely, so it's about the structures and the piece placement.
Yeah, 97, 96, 95. All right, a couple tempi. Go ahead.
Again, they can't take on h5.
Again, we're not recommending this. No. Queen c7.
Oh yeah, Queen c7.
No, Queen c7 better.
If they take it, then we have Queen a5 still.
Yeah. Oh, you want to kick the knight away right away. Yeah.
I want to tempt them. I want to tempt them to take.
Yeah,
but even so, that's an exception.
Again,
you don't,
exactly
why we don't want you to have to memorize any more than you have. You don't need to memorize
enough for this. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, we've just finished most of those sidelines, and unfortunately, we have to. Well, we're gonna have to cover some theory. Well, actually, probably not. Let's just look at let's. You don't.
If they play G3. There's 2 lines.
It's just about G3.
No,
we don't even.
There's two lines. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so there's different move orders. Let's just look at the exception first, because it's just going to transpose. Except in one exception: knight c3 takes, knight takes e4, knight f6. Knight takes f6, g takes f6, g3. This is a really tricky move order because white doesn't commit to d4. And if he doesn't commit to d4, then you can't try to win the pawn. So bishop g4, bishop g2, knight d7. Well, I kind of like this line actually because, let's say the castle, well then we could just start exchanging.
This is good. Take.
Not
way too fast. Go back.
I'm going too fast.
Okay, so go back. And now bishop g4, pinning the knight.
Mm-hmm.
Bishop g2. He's again with that bishop on g2 could be annoying, but the problem is we have for him we could get a knight e5, knight d7, and then we get the knight to e5, and then we're very happy. Once we trade, go ahead. He castles. Go ahead. He castles knight e5.
Knight e5.
And then he does whatever he does. He goes. By the way, if he goes h3, hold on. If he goes h3,
I think you can just
pawn h3.
Pawn, right?
Knight takes. Hold on. Knight takes. Then bishop takes h3. Okay.
Right.
Go ahead.
So
if we go back, he goes d4. Go ahead. Knight takes. Step 1. When you trade bishops, you're happy. That's already. The only question is how happy you are. You're already happy. The question is
just look at white's light squares. Look at all the pawns being on dark squares.
You're not in danger. He's lost his bishop and his queen. Yeah, his light square weaknesses.
I wouldn't take that.
Take the pawn. It's a bit risky.
Has a head in development. It's harder for you to castle. Just play queen d5. Go for these typical endgames.
Queen d5 is good. He'll take, and then we'll have a endgame. Actually, it's very similar to the endgame we had before. Yeah, we had that king d7, and that's good. Yeah, good.
Good. Pawns on light, pieces on dark.
That's good. All right. So next, that's all right.
So let's say white plays d4 here. This is kind of annoying because we wanted to play knight e5, but then queen a5 check, c3, queen a6, and we prevent him from castling.
It's hard for him to play here. Yeah, I think it's fair to say that the key color is going to be what?
It's going to be light.
It's going to be light. Yeah.
And we also have ideas like, let's say we castle queenside, knight e5 is a double pin.
Why? Wait, show. He can't take with the knight because
we capture with the bishop.
Queen. He can't take with the pawn because then the rook's right there and the.
And knight d3 would be an idea sometimes too.
Yeah.
Not to mention lots of exchanging.
Okay.
So that's kind of interesting. Knight d7, castles.
Yeah, once we trade knights, we're at least equal, if not better. Okay.
Yeah, so white should maybe play d4, and then we're going to transpose. And then g3. This is going to be the tricky line. We're going to cover.
No, g3 doesn't work. Hold on. If he plays g3 here, we take the knight.
Takes.
And win a pawn, and it's better. Okay.
We win a pawn.
Step 1. I'm going to have to interfere. We win a pawn. You're better, and there's nothing more to say. It's almost literally nothing more to say. I mean, we can show a few tricks by white, but it's actually really problematic for white to be okay here.
I'm really in practice, especially at club level, black will just be up a pawn most likely. It's smooth development. Though with accurate play, white can get compensation, and there might be concrete lines for masters. We'll cover that. You can drill that at the end of the theory section. So let's go to the other move order this could be played. e4, c6, d4, d5, knight c3 takes, knight f6. There's multiple move orders, but it's mainly about the ideas and the structures. And
no, it's C. Yeah, now C.
Again, if g3, we'll take it and we'll win the pawn.
We'll take it. Be happy to win a pawn. Yeah, c3.
c3. So queen d5 is one interesting option, just sort of trying to prevent g3 again. Yakov was looking into that. There's also a knight d7 with the idea of knight e5 again. Our ideas are pretty straightforward. We're going to try to castle queenside, and if they play g3, then we have knight e5.
Knight e5 is pretty good. But again, queen d5. We're going to recommend queen d5. Go ahead. Queen d5.
Queen d5?
Yeah, he plays... he can't play g3 now. He can't play g3. So bishop e2.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have like knight David 7.
Mm-hmm.
He castles.
Castles queenside. Yeah. And black has attacking chances on the king side.
Yeah, the queen on d5 looking to swing to h5. It's good.
Sure, and we would like let's look at a couple lines for a second, just as an example
E6.
variation.
Queen bishop d6. Rook c. I don't know. Yeah. Rook g8. No. Rook g8 is over. Rook g8 is like over. It's over. It just resigns. It resigns. That's it. You're threatening bishop takes f3. You're already threatening. Then he plays. He's no moves. There are no moves. King h1.
Mm-hmm. Then
queen h5. Resign. Queen h.
And we're threatening takes
bishop
takes
f4
mate.
maybe. Hold on. Something going on here. Yeah, there's something going.
Well, we also.
Yes, bishop f4 only. Only bishop f4 is working. But okay, there's a lot of pressure. There's
a lot of ideas here. We're getting a pretty dangerous attack.
Yeah,
so queen d5 is also really typical because in some other lines we were playing queen a5, queen h5. We mostly showed queen c7 in order to keep it simple to remember. But queen a5, queen h5 is also typical in the Bronstein Larsen, and you're going to see some examples of that in the model game section.
c3 doesn't do all that much. It's only intended to
It's
so we could also get a little
g3.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, it's not a terrible move by itself, but the point is that we could also do a move which is a little different than usual.
Yeah. So exactly. So
if he goes c4, hold on. The reason also his c4 is a waste of a tempo. Then we have the queen e4 check and stuff.
Right.
It's show. Queen here, queen here. Mm-hmm. c4, queen e4 check is fine. Or queen a5 check. Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. I think c4 is a loss of a tempo. You also just give perspective. I've tried different things here, but c4, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Queen a5 is good. Queen a5, his pawns don't make sense anymore. Go back, bishop d2,
mm-hmm.
and then like queen c7. And
okay,
I want to give perspective. No. I want to get now that they've played. Yeah, we're gonna castle quick. Hold on, castle quick. Knight e7 castle, no e6, no, knight e7 castle, and then you're gonna often play e5 because you have something to bite on. If you're gonna bite on something, it's a rock. No good. You play c3, but here e5, yeah, and he's gonna have to play d5. Show. He has to play d5.
D5, and then the dark square.
And then the c5 really square becomes loose. Yeah. A little abstract. You want to show the lines, or that's enough?
I think that's enough.
Okay. So when they play c4, it's too loosening. Then we have that e5.
Yeah, we could discuss those ideas in more detail in the model game section.
The model game's a lot. Okay. Fine.
Yeah, so I hope that you enjoyed this Bronstein Larsen theory, and well, mainly ideas, honestly. And I'll see you in future chapters.